Oh my gosh, you guys. Here we go. Here we go. Excuse me while I blush into infinity forever. Um, if you don't want to see this scene, I'll have a little clickety click again. But here we go. Seduce me, Eric. I couldn't believe the two words that came out of my mouth. It made the most sense to tell him yes. I needed him. I wanted him. Those two words must have made something finally break. I might giggle throughout this whole thing, so I apologize. Sexy time is a serious matter, but it can be fun. So let's make it. I'm just gonna read and shut up. Erik simply ran his fingers down his vest and shirt, releasing the buttons and revealing his bare chest to me. I couldn't help but move one of my hands down his chest, running my fingers over the crevices of his muscles. A pleasured purr escaped his throat, making me shiver slightly. Erik let his vest and shirt slide down his arms to the floor before cradling my head in his hands and kissing me deeply. I felt heat rise in my body, making me undo the tie underneath my collar and release the buttons on my own shirt. I would join him for his shower, and then we'd head to bed together. Quickly removed my shirt and vest, making Erik stop kissing me and stare in slight surprise. I was simply in a bra, but I could feel a blush invade my cheeks. My shy side began to fester in my mind. Did I really want this, to undress before a demon? No, this was the man I loved, and yet I felt my innocence drape over me in almost shame. As if he knew, Erik gently caressed my cheek, smiling at me before kissing each cheek and whispering in my ear.
You're beautiful.
And to think we could have missed all this because we didn't want to get killed and eaten by Diana. Those two words broke my limitation. I gave in. I yielded to my desires. Oh, there's that picture. Before I knew it, both he and I were stripped of clothing and in a very nice warm shower together. The heat between our bodies simply added to the warmth, making the shower a very steamy one. Erik pulled me close, knowing I was still shy, began to kiss my lips over and over. Each kiss was his promise to keep me safe, keep me comfortable, love me. I kept my arms wrapped around Erik, taking each kiss he gave and giving him my own kisses in return. I didn't know if it was the fact that we were both naked, or maybe I just craved his touch, but I didn't want to let him go. The water ran over our bodies, cleansing our skins as we held on to each other like it was the end of the world. Even when Erik started to actually wash his body, and mine, our bodies constantly touched. The fragrance of the soap engraved itself into my memory as I let him touch me and clean me. He was gentle and sweet, making sure to be attentive to every part of me. However, as he held me, I could feel the shiver of his hands. He was nervous? Was I his first? There's no way. He wasn't going to show it. He wanted me to enjoy this moment, but I was afraid of screwing this up. Or he was afraid of screwing this up. His shivering hands showed me his emotions perfectly. Then my mind quickly made a realization. Were we really going to join in the shower? I had imagined my first to be in a bed. I eventually pulled away from him after the last bit of soap was rinsed away from my skin. He looked to me worried, but I smiled. Shouldn't they shower after? Maybe, I don't know, maybe they'll do both. I don't know, it's a surprise. Not here. Erik stared for a brief moment. Erik stared for a brief moment before slightly smirking and nodding, gathering me back into his arms and kissing me. I felt warm magic gather on our bodies as the slight pattern of running water vanished. I slightly opened my eyes to see that Erik and I were no longer in the shower, but in my bedroom. We were both dry, and the heat and passion remained. Erik guided me to the bed as a purple tendril made sure my door was closed and locked. Does that matter? They just teleport everywhere. Anyway, as he laid me down and knelt over me, Erik smiled and finally embraced me as we both desired. The pleasure between us would be heavenly, and we'd go through it together. I closed my eyes and gave myself to Erik. One moment. Okay. My body, my mind, my soul, it all belonged to him as he held me. His body, his mind, his soul, it all belonged to me as I gave in to his embrace. His kisses and fingers over my skin would forever engrave themselves into my memory as our passion rose through incredible heights. Our breaths and moans into each other equally sounded and echoed like a blissful chant we never wished to end. We kept moving, loving, feeling every inch of our bodies until we had enough, and I was enveloped in his embrace. Skin to skin, heartbeats matching, we held each other in the glow of the aftermath. I nuzzled my head under Erik's chin as he held me close.
I love you so much.
I love you too. And I love my boyfriend who called recently, but I accidentally missed the call because I'm doing the recording things. So if you're listening, I love you, boyfriend. I love you. Just to hear those words come from Erik's mouth made my heart flutter. To hear me answer made my soul warm in glee. I could feel both of us sink into a peaceful slumber together. It was the best sleep I'd had in days, and I was happy. I had love, and I had my happiness. My life was simply perfect. When I opened my eyes, I found myself staring into Erik's bare chest. I blushed, but looked up to see Erik still sleeping. I wanted a picture of this. This would have been cute to have her just looking at him. His sleeping face made me giggle softly, but the reality of the situation made my heart flutter. I couldn't believe it. I was lying next to a man I had grown to love with all my heart. His warm embrace made me feel safe, and as the tender moment we shared replayed in my head, I couldn't help but smile and snuggle into his chest further. Unconsciously, he held me tighter to his body, giving me more of his warmth. I didn't want to move, but then my core... What? My core suddenly tightened and made me sit up without waking the man next to me. I felt my legs move and bring me to my balcony window, where I opened the glass and stepped out on the patio. I stared wide-eyed at Diana, who sat cross-legged on the railing of my balcony with her glowing red eyes staring at me. I opened my mouth to object, but Diana stopped me.
Before you get all huffy, I didn't come here to take your precious man away. By the way, how was it exactly? Demons are the best lovers, after all.
Awkward. I glared. What do you want, Diana?
Well, I just wanted to see how you truly feel. You know, without him around to influence you.
What are you talking about?
I'm giving you an opportunity to come clean about these feelings of yours, and to give you your salvation.
What was Diana up to? This was beyond crazy. Nothing she had done made sense. Why was I still alive at this rate? What's keeping you from just killing me and taking them?
You are not worth my time.
Not worth your time? What are you, afraid something might happen? All at once, felt my body being lifted into the air and moved over past the railings, leaving me with nothing but the ground below to threaten me with a collision death.
Oh, trust me, dear. I'm not afraid to kill you. I can drop you right now and leave your body to rot until the morning, when the boys would find you.
I wanted to speak, but the thought of her letting go and letting me fall to my death scared my voice into silence. Diana then chuckled and wheeled my body back to the balcony, setting me down gently.
Alas, if I kill you, then the boys would never come with me willingly back to the demon world, and then I'd have to chase them all around the world, or kill them and drag them back. But then their father wouldn't be happy, and blah blah blah. Too much work.
Diana seemed very business-oriented, as if the boys were cargo more than men. It irked me, but then she smiled. Why don't you just marry the demon guy, like their dad? Or is he too old? Or he can adopt you, because you seem more useful than, his sons in this matter. You seem to enjoy world domination.
I'm giving you one chance to denounce your love for the demon in your bed, and let me take him and the other boys back to the demon world.
And why, may I ask, would I do that?
There are so many reasons why, actually. There's the reason that he's a demon and you're a human, so you two can never truly have a happily ever after. Then there's the reason that demons truly do not know how to love, despite what he may proclaim. The list goes on and on. The point is, if you give me the boys, I will promise you eternal happiness.
Eternal happiness?
That's right. I have the power to give you anything you desire. Power, men, women, money, Fame. Name it, and it's yours. A demon never goes back on their word, and I have the power to obtain anything you wish. Our deal is our contract.
I could only stare in shock. This was a dream. It had to be. However, Diana smiled an almost genuine smile at me, shaking me to the reality of the situation. She would never smile like that.
Don't you wish to be free of your destiny? Your father constantly berating you to become the next CEO of your grandfather's company.
How did you... I was almost floored in surprise. How did Diana know all of this? She was a succubus, yes, but how did she know anything beyond sexual desire? She wasn't Damien. She kidnapped your dad. Okay?
Just because I play with hearts and sex doesn't mean I don't know my way around the human mind. You happen to be an open book of information. But I digress. I can give you your freedom with ease. It'll be like you were always meant to have it. All I ask is that you hand over the boys. What do you say?
Was I seriously being given this choice? The man I loved for anything I wanted? A demon like Diana was powerful enough, yes, but did I even want to consider giving up the man I loved? This shouldn't even be an option. No. She must have been crazier than I thought. I glared. Absolutely not. Diana stared, sighed, and stood up on the railing. What I wasn't expecting her to lift me up into the air. I tried to scream, but my voice suddenly became locked in silence. What was Diana doing? Diana made me float over to her, and she smirked as we touched noses.
Well, if I can't return home with the boys, I might as well return home with the power to fight back.
Diana finally leaned in and kissed me. I shut my eyes, feeling need to bite her lips, but finding no muscles in my face listening to my mental commands. What did she do to me? Uh-oh. I didn't want to enjoy it, but I did. She kissed the girl and she liked it. I felt my energy drain slowly but forcefully from my body. Was she using her magic to force energy out of my body? Seemed like forever, but finally, Diana pulled away from the kiss with a smile and a lick of the lips. She lowered me back onto the patio and chuckled. For some reason, even though nothing seemed to have changed, she looked stronger, powerful. It was almost like looking at a new Diana. She stepped off the railing, making me catch my breath in my throat. She looked to be simply walking on the night air. Diana smirked at my sudden surprise.
May you never regret your choice, human. If you do, I'll happily come and take it away.
With a flick of her hair, Diana turned and walked away into the night, fading into the darkness like a shadow. I watched her fade away before looking back to the man in my bed. Did I make the right choice? What are you going to do, give her all the guys? My heart gave a gentle thump, giving me my answer. I did, and I will never regret it, as long as I live. I walked back inside and gently crawled back into bed with the embrace of the safest arms I knew. I snuggled close to the warmth before closing my eyes. I was happy. Oh, this is the end, I guess. The rest of the story can almost be passed over. With Diana gone, my life returned to normal with school, and my friends not remembering what had happened. It was as if magic never even appeared in my world. One thing was for certain, however. Erik loved me, and I loved him just as much. We had promised our lives to each other, and nothing was going to take that away from us, not even time itself. Our love was so powerful, it practically overwhelmed me with joy every time I found him holding me close every morning. That's so cute! Ah, to think. A demon in love with a human like me. It was unthinkable. Unbelievable. It was practically impossible. But it was true. Oh, excuse me. The other boys decided to leave of their own accord. They knew that my future would only need Erik at my side, so they each decided to start their own lives in the human world. Erik understood perfectly and vowed to serve me well, wishing his brothers the best. Besides, Erik had someone new to care for now. His brothers didn't need to worry about him now that he was caring for me. I felt bad as well for being closer to Erik than the others, but they reassured me that I was okay and they would remain nearby should I ever need them. I was happy for that. They made me promise, however, that I would love Erik for as long as we lived. That promise was instantly given. Well, you can't instantly give it. You can't just, die and be like, I fulfilled the promise. But that's nice. But what of my future? Well, was kind of made for me. Before I graduated, James decided to step on into the light of the Anderson Toys Company, and with the help of his demon powers and leadership charisma, he managed to influence not only the entire board, but my father as well into letting him run for CEO. I could totally see James being CEO. I was beyond shocked. How James managed to do all that was beyond me, but when the vote was called, James had taken over the company I was destined to have. He vowed to respect the wishes of the late CEO and help the company become even grander. For a demon, it was simple to make a company grand. My grandfather would have been proud to see how James helped it shine. With the CEO position filled, my father had no choice but to let me decide my future, which made me happy beyond compare. No longer would I have the future scaring me into a corner. I would choose my life on my own. That being said, I was still scared of whether the future was going to take me. What did I want to do? Did I want to help James build the company? Did I want to venture off on my own? Erik assured me he would support me and help me through whatever I decided to do. I was grateful and would never forget that promise. I was happy, and nothing could shake me down from that happiness. One evening, a good couple of years after the boys and I had met, I had a moment to myself, so I wandered in my house and took all that had happened in as if it was a dream. The demons, the devils, the magic. It was all so surreal to believe. It almost frightened me to think that it all could have been a dream. But the warm feeling in my heart reminded me that it was all real. The demons, the magic, the love I had, all real. I almost said Rio, sorry. I smiled as I held my hands. My headphones are dying. I smiled as I held my hands to my chest, relishing the feelings dancing within my soul. I let out a happy sigh before looking up and seeing where I had wandered to. I was standing at the entrance to the backyard, and the door was slightly ajar. I peeked out to see Erik standing by the gazebo, looking up at the moon in the sky. I slowly opened the door and exited the house, walking towards the man who held my heart. Hearing the grass beneath my feet, Erik turned his head and smiled at me.
Good evening, princess.
You haven't aged a day. I smiled and blushed a bit, moving to stand at Erik's side. What are you doing out here?
I'm merely making friends with the moon, my love.
I blushed deeper. Hearing him call me his love made my heart skip a beat. Erik chuckled, most likely being able to see the blush through the darkness of the night. I will say, obviously he's probably called her love a lot more than that, but, I don't know, when you're with someone and you, really love them, even silly things like that can still make your heart flutter sometimes. You're just like, you love me? You love me? And so it does.
I wanted to see the night sky. The yard is one of the more perfect places to stargaze. Don't you agree?
Yeah. I found myself staring up at the sky as well. The stars all glimmered in the dark blue, almost pitch-black sky. They all seemed to cast an entrancing spell on my eyes, not letting me look away. Not that I cared, anyway. Erik gently wrapped an arm around my waist, pulling me closer without breaking my stare at the sky.
I don't deserve you, you know.
Oh, I know. I raised an eyebrow and looked at Erik confused. What did he mean? Uh-oh. Erik simply stared at the sky, holding me gently to him.
You're much too wonderful to be loving a demon such as myself. As cliché as it may be, the beauty fell in love with a beast. A beast with an insatiable hunger for lust.
But you're not a beast, Erik. Sorry if my mic is going crazy. It was falling off of my face. Erik looked down at me in slight surprise. I turned my body to him and gently held his cheek in my hand, feeling him nuzzle gently into it and cradle it with his own. You're not a beast, nor will you ever be. You're Erik, and you're the man I want to love the rest of my life. Demon or not, I love you. Erik stared, looking lost at what to say at my words. It was true, though. He had faults, sure, but who didn't? I enjoyed his company and adored every part of his personality. The mask he wore would slowly fade over time. Or maybe not. After all, his mask is part of who I fell in love with. Erik gently moved his head and kissed my palm, closing his eyes and absorbing what I had said. He gently opened his eyes partially, staring past my hand.
Sometimes I forget that you're human. You entrance me better than any demon could. You're truly unbelievable. Are you real, or am I dreaming?
Yes, Erik. I'm real. I'm right here. Erik finally looked at me, a look of desperate need in his eyes. You're not dreaming. I gently guided Erik's face down with my hand and kissed him softly, reminding him of my touch and reaffirming my words. He stared at me as if his greatest wish had come true. I fought back and giggled at the sight. Erik gently pulled me to him, facing me to hug him to his... Facing me to hug him to his chest. I nuzzled into Erik's chest, hearing his gentle heartbeat and memorizing its tempo.
You'll regret it. I promise you. You'll regret loving someone like me.
Tough. You underestimate me. Erik chuckled softly, the sound of his laughter sending happy waves down my spine. Erik smiled down at me and kissed the top of my head. My focus, however, traveled down to my hand, which had become gently held by Erik's. His thumb grazed over my ring finger, where I could feel soft veins of energy tingle on my skin. I watched as around my finger a small vine wrapped itself around and tied itself into a lovely ring. What? The ring held a beautiful purple flower with a red gem in the middle glistening in the moonlight. I gasped before looking up to Erik, who slightly smirked down at me.
See? I'm taking advantage of you already.
Oh! Erik! Erik gently moved his hand and cradled my cheek, replacing the smirk on his face with a tender smile that made my heart skip a beat.
I don't know what I did to deserve you, but I swear to love you till the end of days and beyond. You make me feel so complete. I can no longer imagine what I would do in life without you. Let me stay with you. I love you so much.
I felt my heart going a million miles an hour. Was this truly happening? Yes, it was. I felt it. I knew it. Oh, so cute. Out of pure happiness, I wrapped my arms around Erik and kissed him deeply. Erik stared before holding me to him and kissing deeply back, pouring all of his love to me into that kiss. I did the same for him, not wanting to wake up if this was indeed a dream. I felt light as a feather, not wanting to ever let go of this man in my arms. There were no words that could describe the emotions within me. I felt joy, happiness, ecstatic high, all at once. Here I was kissing the man I would be with forever, under the beautiful moonlight of the night. I had gained the heart of a demon, no, of a man that I loved. I vowed to cherish him and love him for the remainder of my days and beyond. Could a demon love a human forever? I knew Erik would. And that was my happily ever after. And Erik's kiss R. What does that mean? Whatever! We won! Ooh, new password unlocked. Demon War. What does that do? And now it's over for reals! Oh, I'll let the credits roll. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. It was a very enjoyable game. I do feel it was a little bit heavy on the exposition-y side. Like, they'd repeat stuff. Ooh. Or maybe I won't. I'll probably talk. So, I felt like it repeated itself, whereas you could have just cut out some of the dialogue and stuff and just, like, gone to it. Because, you know, if you say, like, oh, my heart was beating in my chest, he made me feel nervous. It's like, okay, well, you can do one of those things. But it was really fun. I liked the characters. Not a bunch of huge plot twists, but, and, you know, Diana just kind of left at the end. Don't know what happened to her. But, I really liked it. I really liked it, especially for a free game. Like, heck yes. Pickle 131. What? Who is... Oh, and so, Christopher Escalante. I'll have to look him up to see what Erik looks like. But I feel like this is going to be really easy to get the other endings to, because you can skip. So I might do that for other playthroughs. But we have a secret password to unlock, and we have a random letter that helps us too. And we're getting married! Yay! Oh! Tiffy. Erik's mother, Damien's mother. Extras. I don't know if I'd want to do voice acting. It seems like it would, I don't know. I guess I would. I think that would be interesting. Oh my gosh. So Erik did the composition of the song. Why is everyone so talented and doing everything? Thanks to our amazing Kickstarter backers. Oh, that's so nice. You guys did a good job. There's no better time to start. Your path is clearer now, urging you on. Don't be afraid. There's a website on here, clickist.com. Okay. Whatever, that's cool. That's cool, Rob. But who do you want me to unlock next for the endings? Because I'm trying to think. Because I know you can do your friends. You can probably get Andrew. I think you can get Diana too. I don't know who else. I'm probably going to do a non-dating game in between, but then, thanks to Amarillo, she actually recommended some other games that I play. Not ones that she made necessarily, but so hopefully I can get those up pretty soon too. But I hope you enjoy this series. I hope you did enjoy it. And if you have something to suggest, go ahead. Doesn't have to be a dating sim. If it is, that's fun too. As long as it's like a fun, interesting game, you want to see me play it, let's go for it, you know? I play, silly games, and I play fun games, and I play scary games, and I play serious games. But I haven't played too many serious games on this channel. Crab nipples? Please just don't ask. I won't. I'll respect your question. There's a million stories left to write. Be free. Aww, Seraphim Entertainment. I like their logo. The spellers are so pretty. Created by Michaela Laws, and she's the one singing. Bonus. I don't know. Oh. Demon War. It had been 2 years since he passed away. My visits to his grave became fewer as time went on, but no one could tell me that I stopped. I tried to visit him whenever it was sunny so bad weather wouldn't bring down my mood. It was better not to be sad when I came by. Today, though, was an incredibly happy day. I was so full of emotion I couldn't help but visit his gravestone. I wondered, what would grandfather think of me? After all, I was about to marry a demon. I was about to marry the man of my dreams, and I had stopped before going to the wedding day venue to talk to my grandfather. Pretty sure I looked odd in that cemetery donning a wedding dress. However, I didn't really mind. I needed to come regardless. I stood by the grave staring down at it with a smile. I'm getting married today, Grandpa. The wind gently danced around me as if my grandfather ushered it to reply. I grew up by to smile and let out a sigh. I couldn't lie. I wanted my grandfather to be at my wedding, but I couldn't go back in time. Even if I was able to, how could I have stopped him from dying? I shook my head. I didn't want to think of that, not on the day of my wedding. I hope you'll be there in spirit, Grandpa. I'm sure you'll... Before I could continue my sentence, the sky suddenly became dark, causing me to look up. Rain began to fall and patter against the stone and grass as a haunting bell began to chime. What boggled my mind was the fact that rain was avoiding my body. It was like I was in a safe circle underneath an invisible umbrella so rain couldn't soak me or my dress. What the... Was this grandfather's doing? Why was it raining all of a sudden? The rain became so heavy I didn't dare move from my spot, afraid of what would happen if I moved from it. I looked to the grave, confused and concerned. My eyes locked onto the grave. This wasn't a natural storm. Magic was at work here. My heart gave a gentle thud in reply to my conclusion, but the word magic reverberated in my brain. Magic. I looked down and lifted my hands to scan over my gloved palms. My fingers began to tingle, almost as if that single word had unlocked something. Magic. I gently pinched the edge of one glove with 2 fingers and slid it off, revealing my bare hand. Nothing had changed, but I could feel that something was different. I could faintly feel the energy zipping through the nerves under my skin. I wonder. I knew Diana took away my energy and my magic before she left, but what if... Oh no, don't bring zombie grandpa back. What if I still had some left? I raised my hands to the sky and focused on the back of my hand. I didn't know what I was doing, but I had to see something. Oh, she formed a word. I didn't know where it came from, but I let the word escape my lips in a soft whisper. Decino. Uh-oh. As soon as the sound of that word faded into the air, the rain around me suddenly froze as if time had stopped. The wind was still slightly blowing, but the rain had stopped. I slowly lowered my hand and looked around. Did I really do this? Before I could move again, the raindrops and the stormy clouds above began to fade away, returning the day to sunny weather it had been before. The grass and the gravestones were all dry, as if the rain didn't even fall in the first place. That was...
I knew it! I knew it! That girl has demon magic!
What the...
Then quit talking and let's take her! The demon lord will be so pleased!
No, I'm super taken. Excuse me? That's like the... Oh no. Oh no, people were taking me. 2 pairs of evil-looking hands had taken hold of my ankles, reaching through a dark red and purple pentagram. I shrieked, trying to pull my legs away, and couldn't stop them from swiftly pulling me into the ground. Uh-oh. She's being dragged to a dark world when she can't escape. I reached and clawed at the dark, trying to find something to grab onto. I tried to pull my legs out of the grips holding them, but couldn't quite pull free. What was going on? Why was this happening? Someone help me! As if someone heard my screams, I suddenly felt the hands let go and disappear, leaving me to float in the darkness they had left me in. I shut my eyes. Please let this be a dream. Please let this be a dream. I felt the surface form under my feet, and I collapsed onto it, curled over my body from the experience I had. I didn't dare tear my eyes away from my lap. Not ready to get up just yet. The voice I heard, however, made my heart stop.
You! What are you doing here?
I don't know. Diana. It's not my fault. Coming soon, Seduce Me 2, The Demon War. Find out how you can help here. Interesting. Where are the extras? Gallery. Erik. Ooh. Are these all the photos I unlocked? Sexy times. Whereas I only have the general one of like James. Who the heck is Mika? Uh-oh. Creepy. So these are all the people we can end up with. So who do you want me to go for next? I was thinking James because I actually like him. What else happened here? Andrew? You just meet him. Oh, so I accidentally went with him one time. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. I was confused. And there's her, just like exploding. Damien, this is so cute. Oh, I like this. Oh, gotta go. So I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a great rest of the day. Stay sweet, and I'll see what other endings I can come up with for Seduce Me, the Tom.